It's movie night in the feelings right. Hey, how are you guys doing there? Welcome to the Flick Cave. Let me take a drink of my Mountain Dew here. As you guys know, Mountain Dew is the nectar of the gods. It's what keeps me alive after 3 o'clock in the morning. Let me set it down here on the ground. Alright, so tonight we're talking about Iron Man 3, Grudge Match starring The Wolf of Wall Street starring Leonardo DiCaprio, with a money-hungry, drug-induced, quaalude-poppin', hooker-lovin' fun time, and The Hobbit Desolation of Smaug. That's how I pronounce it, because literally I cannot say the right enunciation of the word smog. Smog. No matter how I say it, somebody in the comments will correct me. So I just literally say it the most obnoxious way I possibly can. Smaug. You know what? I could have cleaned up for this video, but I refuse to, okay? I'm not going to conform to society's rules and regulations. I can have unfolded clothes, and I'll tell you what, I don't like to fold my clothes. Here's what I do. I take them out, I throw them in a basket. When I need them, I come to them, okay? If they're too wrinkled, I'll fix it. I don't know how, but somehow I'll fix it. Yeah, I just don't believe in it. It's a waste of time, and my recommendation to you people out there, life's too short to fold your clothes. By the way, if you haven't already, get yourself a Back to the Flick Pick t-shirt. It's a necessity for every man's wardrobe, or woman. And as usual, if you guys do pick one up, send me a picture, send me a video. I'll give your channel a shout out, you a shout out. Just tell me whatever you want me to say, and I'll say it in a video as a thank you to you. I don't even know if I clean this or not. Like, it's setting up here in the clean clothes pile, but it smells like it needs. I'm just gonna, here. You tell me, how's it smell? Okay, so before we begin, let's all just take a minute. I'm serious. If you guys are sitting down at your office, your computer chair, if you're watching this on your phone, you're sitting there taking a crap like 90% of you do when you watch my videos, it doesn't matter. Stand up right now. Let's all just stretch out. Come on, run in place for a minute. Come on, I'm talking to you. And take a drink of your Mountain Dew when you're doing it. Okay, so the first movie up is The Hobbit Desolation of Smaug. I much prefer this movie over An Unexpected Journey. Now, a lot of people might disagree. To me, this was a little bit more well-rounded. Definitely give you blue balls by the end of the movie where it kind of cliffhangers off. But overall, the pacing in this movie was better. It felt like some of the things happening, they kept moving and going. In Unexpected Journey, it's like they kind of stood still a little bit too much here and there. And it almost became, like, come on. The first opening scene in Unexpected Journey. I don't care how much you love The Hobbit, you have to admit that thing went on a few minutes longer than it needed to. And by a few, I mean 15 minutes longer than it needed to go. Anyway, this movie is great on Blu-ray. It's a fantasy, fantastical film, action-packed, a lot of cool visuals. Now, I did a film review for this last December when the movie came out, so if you want my in-depth thoughts on it, go check that video out over on the Flick Pick channel. But overall, this is just a fun Blu-ray. It's a fun movie to watch. And revisiting it a second time, I gotta say, I maybe enjoyed it just slightly more. Though, like I said, the ending's just like, I don't want to wait a year. Why couldn't you just give me 10 minutes of that and I could be finished? Not the first time I've had to say that. It's late, I'm sorry. So anyway, really cool slipcover here. You get Gandalf there looking like a badass. Let's take this thing out. Now, it comes with the Blu-ray DVD digital download. And speaking of digital download, because I like you, and I respect you as a citizen of Flickster City, that's what I'm calling it now. You don't have to pay your taxes here. And I don't believe in, yeah, there's cannibalism going on, but that's okay. Here's the code right here. First one to get it has it. You guys ready? There it is. And poof, just like that, it's gone forever. Alright, so here's the inside of the Blu-ray case here. Pretty standard stuff here. Comes with, you can buy some merchandise. What can you buy out of this? I just want to look at it. Ooh, you can buy the Gandalf illuminating staff. Look at that thing. Just imagine holding that illuminating staff in the middle of the road at night. And just screaming until the cops get called. It's $159. Okay, let's keep talking about this Blu-ray here. Now, as far as Blu-ray picture quality goes, audio quality, I can't complain about anything. I mean, this thing looks great. It's very filmatic at times. Though it was shot with digital cameras, it just has that epic scope, that tone that you love to see. You know, it lights all the pixels up on my 50-inch plasma screen TV, which is an LG, by the way. I get a lot of questions on that. And I do recommend plasma TVs over LED or LCD any day of the week. The contrast ratios, the black levels, It's amazing. That's what you need.
I don't know. It's about doing best, it's about doing best. It's about blah, blah, blah.
Sylvester Stallone impression. Still working on it. Anyway, the next movie up is Grudge Match, starring Stallone the badass. Doesn't matter how old this man gets, he's still a badass. And then you got Robert De Niro, which... Robert De Niro, don't get me wrong, I respect everything this man's ever done. He was Taxi Driver, okay? But he's kind of playing the old man parts nowadays, which is fine. He's playing his age, but sometimes it just feels like he's on cruise control. Anyway, Grudge Match is a movie I never got to see in theaters. And I don't really regret that. I watched the Blu-ray of this the other night, and it's good fluff, I guess you could say, for the 35-year-old plus crowd. You know, there's parts about this movie that's interesting. There's a lot of throwbacks to, you know, kind of Rocky-ish type jokes, things like that. Overall, it's one of those movies that you might catch on cable at like 10 o'clock at night when you're really bored. You're eating like a ham and cheese sandwich, drinking a chocolate milk. You got a bag of potato chips over there. It's a little bit rainy out. You called a few of your friends to find something better to do, but they're not picking up their phones for some odd reason. This movie comes on TV. You sit there and watch it. So that's what this movie essentially is. You know, basically when it comes down to it, this is Rocky Balboa fighting Raging Bull. There's some comedic aspects about the movie. There's some just dwindling jokes that happen. It has Kevin Hart in it. I don't think am I? No, I'm not. I'm not really a Kevin Hart fan. I don't know why. I just can't laugh at the guy. I try. Something about him. I just can't do it. But on a side note, one of the most entertaining aspects about this film is, if you guys watch it, just pause the screen at some points in this movie, because what they do is they try to show flashbacks or old news reels of these two guys when they were in their glory days fighting. And they do take some stock footage from young Sylvester Stallone, but they also do a lot of CGI enhancements on the characters, and it just looks bad. It just looks like all botchy, and they're stretched out, and you're like, what is happening right there? So that was kind of entertaining to look at. Yeah, so anyway, it comes with the Blu-ray DVD digital download code, and since you guys are great citizens of Flickster City, I'm going to give you guys the digital download code of this, so first one gets it, you keep it. Alright. You got it? Good. Okay, I got two more movies to talk about here. Wolf of Wall Street and Iron Man 3. Now let's just briefly, very quickly talk about Iron Man 3, alright? My original perspective of this film was, it seemed like Shane Black, one of the classic action writers of the 1980s, 1990s, he didn't want to make an Iron Man movie. He literally did not want to make an Iron Man movie. He wanted to make an action movie with Robert Downey Jr. in it, so he found every way he could to do that, and then put Iron Man in the background. That's the reason all of his suits are essentially as strong as paper plates in this movie and just crumble at the first touch. That's why there's some scenes in this movie where you're like, oh, that was a cool action scene, and then Tony Stark, the man, wasn't even inside the suit. It was just a drone, and it was being controlled by Tony Stark, and it kind of takes you out of that. You're like, there was no danger aspect or any interesting element there. And there's so many mistakes they make throughout this movie that it easily could have been a better movie. But like I said, it just didn't feel like it wanted to be an Iron Man movie as much as it just wanted to be like another action movie with Robert Downey Jr. in it. So that's why the movie was kind of a letdown to me. And as far as the Mandarin goes, yeah. Yeah, but the most positive thing I can say about this movie is Pepper Potts looks amazing in a sports brawl. Alright. Hello, my name's John Flickster. I believe in hookers, drugs, quaaludes, and blow. Okay? I'm gonna make you a lot of money. Come with me. Alright? I don't even know what that was. Wolf of Wall Street on Blu-ray. This is the Steelbook edition. I picked this up on a flick trip a few weeks back. Search this channel for that video if you want to check it out. A shopping cart literally tried to kill me. Alright? I'm not kidding. That really happened. Check out the video. I'll put the link down below. It'll be easier for you. Anyway, Wolf of Wall Street, really cool steelbook here. I like the yellow. I don't know why. The color yellow just kind of relaxes me and excites me all at this same time. Kind of like this movie does. What can I say about this movie? Balls to the wall. Martin Scorsese still has it. The man's damn near 70 years old, and he directed this movie like a young director. It had vitality to it. Vitality. That's the word I like today. Leonardo DiCaprio, who will never win the award he deserves, did a phenomenal job in this movie. Jonah Hill did a great job as a supporting actor. But the one scene in this movie that defines everything about this is, at one point, Leonardo DiCaprio's character is high on quaaludes, okay? He almost ODs on the damn things, and he has to get to his car, but he's basically paralyzed from the neck down. So he crawls to his car, and the scene just keeps going and going, and that's what I like. There's so many scenes like that in this movie that just go for it, and I love when movies go for it, and this movie's hard R, and hard R, but yeah, it deserves the hard R rating because Margot Robbie, the hottest chick alive right now that just oozes sex. And just think, I gotta take another drink of my Mountain Dew just thinking about it. Hang on. So yeah, anyway, Wolf of Wall Street on Blu-ray looks phenomenal. Very filmic. I love the way this looks. Blu-ray is amazing, and this movie is just so immersive. These are the kind of movies I like. I like movies about bad guys who are funny. They have redeeming qualities about them, and they also do like the narration, like where the bad or the guy that the story's about kind of talks to the audience. That's like all those things combined. That's what I like. By the way, speaking of all those things, watch the underrated movie starring Nicolas Cage. Your father and I go to enough school plays? That's my Nicolas Cage. Anyway, watch Lord of War. That movie kind of fits all those elements also. Alright, so here's the part of the video where we answer movie Q&A questions. If you guys have any questions that relate to movies in any weird way whatsoever, put them down below in the comments. I'll pick a few next week and I'll answer them. Unlike my normal Q&As where anything and everything goes. Alright, so let's jump into these questions here, and the first one is, John, if you were the director of the Justice League movie, would you have Green Arrow from the TV show Stephen Amell in it? He is awesome. I've never watched the Green Arrow TV show. I've watched little quick clips and trailers from it. You know, no, I probably would not. I'd probably recast the role, and I'll tell you why. TV and movies, a lot of different things can go a lot of different directions, and I don't want the TV show to take a direction that would affect my movie with that character in it. So rather than worrying about the future outcome of both things going different directions, I would just recast the role for something that's going to fit exactly for what I need it to, and maybe in a sequel I can have the same actor playing the exact same character in the same kind of environment I need him to, rather than, you know, in Green Arrow he does something completely off the wall in next season, and then I go to make a sequel to my movie where I need to feature Green Arrow, and I'm like, I don't know how to make that shit make sense. So yeah, probably not. Okay, here's one. Johnny Boy, has a movie ever made you cry? If so, which one? Don't be a pussy, speak the truth. I won't be a pussy, sir, and I will speak the truth. A movie that's made me cry. Well, Stand By Me, maybe not every time I watch it, but I can at least remember one time in a point in my life where things were just a little bit hectic. It was that time period in your life where things are moving really quick, and you got to say goodbye to that childhood. And the ending sequence to Stand By Me, man, that just makes you question your life. I mean, when you become an adult, you can appreciate the last scene in Stand By Me just a little bit more, but man, you never have friends like the ones you had when you're 12 years old, and it's almost true. Hey John, I just watched Reese Witherspoon's Election today, and I saw something in it. Pick flick! Yes, he's referencing in the movie Election, there's Tracy Flick. She has this saying on one of her buttons that says pick flick. Did I get the saying pick flick from that? Kind of, sort of. Long story short, in school, it got written on something, and then it just made sense because my last name is Flickinger, or you can call me Flickster. It depends what the night is. If I'm feeling a little bit risky, it's Flickster. If you want to put my name on a legal document, it's Flickinger. So either way, did I kind of get inspired by the saying pick flick from the movie Election? Yes. What is your favorite candy to snack on when watching a movie? Okay, well, it depends. You know, if I go to see a movie and it's a good movie, you gotta have a good snack, okay? And you can't just have Sour Patch Kids, which are delicious, by the way, but you gotta have your fruits. By fruits, I mean your artificial sugar-coated candy that are shaped like little kids. Bizarre, isn't it? But I love eating them. But then you also gotta have your chocolate. So you gotta have your fruits and your chocolates. You gotta have some M&Ms, a candy bar, some Reese's cups, maybe some Reese's Pieces. Chocolate-covered peanuts are good. Sometimes when I'm feeling a little bit risky, I'll get chocolate-covered raisins. I don't know why. And if it's a really good movie, it's like one of those movies you've been waiting to see for 6 months, and you're like, I gotta make an entire evening out of this. You gotta get popcorn. I know, it hurts. You're gonna spend $6 for a bag of 4-cent popcorn, but you gotta do it. Why? That's just what we do. Okay guys, so that wraps up movie night for this week. Sorry I only answered a few questions. The reason behind that is it's late, and I'm literally passing out right now. I just want to go to sleep, wake up, and eat some cereal. that's pretty much my plans for tomorrow. Oh, and I'm seeing Oculus, so a movie review for that should be up on the FlickPick channel here in a day or so. I've heard interesting things about it. Either way, I just need a good scary movie, alright? Give me Insidious Part 3, or give me The Conjuring Part 2. I'm desperate right now. I love a good scary movie. So anyway, guys, as usual, ask your movie questions down below. The more bizarre, weird, or something about, I don't know, get creative with them, and I'll definitely pick the more juicy questions out of the bunch. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.